Hey, honey, on unpopular topics. I don't know what he did, but it's all over the news. Well, we're gonna find out what he did. President Yoon of South Korea. So when I looked at this story, I kept seeing it pop up. The Guardian, everybody's talking about it. BBC, AP News, CNN. 3 days ago, I want to go back to 3 days ago what CNN said, because it seemed like this is something that happened 3 days ago, and they've been trying to impeach him. So let's get into it. The South Korean court on Tuesday approved an arrest for embattled President Yoon. I don't want to mess the man name up. President Yoon of South Korea, honey. We ain't finna mess his name up because I don't speak Korean. So we gonna, I don't even know if you, what language do they speak in Korean? Let me see. I like to be a little correct. Somebody can get up in here. I can wait. Koreans speak. Okay, yeah, they speak Korean, Japanese. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Languages spoken: Korean. They speak Korean, Japanese, Chinese. Wait a minute. No, that's not right. South Korea has an official language, Korean, although Japanese, English, and Mandarin are widely spoken and understood. Korean is a language isolated, meaning that it's a language that is unlike any other living or dead. Korean has its own grammar system, vocabulary, and alphabets. Hanj, Hangu, Hung, stripped. Never heard of it, but that's their thing in Korea. So they do speak Korean. I was correct about that. I just want to make sure because I want to be sounding real crazy out here in these streets. Anybody up in here yet? So I can begin. So they've been trying to arrest him, impeach him. President Yoon, since that's the only name I know how to spell, that's his first name. I mean, that's the name I know how to pronounce. Plunged the country into political chaos by his shock decision to declare martial law nearly a month ago. It is the first time a sitting Korean president has faced an arrest warrant, and the dramatic new showdown between investigators and the president came to the same day by extraordinary new details emerged of the night Yoon tried to shuttle Parliament. I wonder why he did that. Hey, y'all. Hey, thank you for joining me. I'm talking about President Yoon of South Korea has been under investigation, and they have issued an arrest warrant for him. So I'm going back a couple of days and to see what he did, and it looked like he declared martial law on the citizens. So they finna get him up out of here, okay? Let's see. It is the first time a sitting president in South Korea, South Korean president has faced an arrest warrant. Yoon was stripped of his presidential powers after South Korea's parliament voted to impeach him earlier this month after some members of his own ruling party turned on him following his refusal to resign after December 3rd decree. Why so many? Hey, y'all. Hey, Michael. Hey, Lapido. Midnight Sammy. What's your question, Michael? Go ahead with your question. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you. I did New Year's, and I did yesterday. I've been going on live every day, 6 p.m. Yolanda from Jeanette Beauty TV. So I go live every day at 6 p.m. Eastern time. What's your question? Why I should stop doing videos, Barry? Why? What I do, Barry? Hey, Barry, what you got going on? What you got to say, Barry? Let's let it out. Does anyone have magic? I don't know. Do you like magic tricks? Barry. I want to hear what Barry got to say. Yes. Okay. Right on. That's what's up. I'm interested in seeing why and what happened with this president because it's all over the news. It just broke about an hour ago. Why he got impeached. So let me see. Visibility. Okay. Oh, okay. Uncle T. The detention order was issued after Yoon, a former prosecutor, had refused to answer 3 summons by the investigators in recent weeks asking for his cooperation, according to the Corruption Investigation Office. That's the CIO. Let me see. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you. The warrant would allow investigators to hold Yoon for 48 hours for questioning. The CIO would need to apply a second warrant within that time period to detain him further. So this was 3 days ago, CNN was reported. Now today, they did something about it because a couple of hours ago, AP said Korean investigator attempts to detain impeach. So they going to get him. They detaining him, honey. They take him to jail. They taking you to jail when they detain you. Let's see what they saying on AP News. This is in Seoul, Korea. South Korean investigators attempt to detain impeached President Yoon on Friday over his short-lived, because he just got elected in December, so I don't know what he got going on. Imposition of martial law as hundreds of his supporters gather outside. Y'all should see how these people is out. Thank you, Sammy. I sure am. Look how these people laying out here, y'all. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make this my these people is something else. They out here I don't know if y'all can see that, but they is laid out, honey, in his support. The man, do they know what martial law is? But what are they doing over there in Korea? What are they doing that he had to declare martial law and dispatch troops? Because, you know, that's what they do. The same thing that I think one of the presidents, I believe it was Donald Trump, was saying he was going to do that in Chicago when they was kept keeping up all that mess over there in Chicago. I believe when he was the president. Don't quote me on that because I'm just speaking from something of my memory of 47 years old. Okay, I think that's what it was. The latest, it began December 3rd when Yoon, when he blocked an opposition dominated parliament, declared martial law, and dispatched troops to surround the National Assembly. Parliament overturned the declaration within hours in an unanimous vote and impeached Yoon himself on December 14th. While South Korean authorities opened a criminal investigation into the events, Yoon has remained defiant, ignoring requests for, if you know anybody, they're just like me. If they got a warrant out for my arrest and they know where I'm at, they coming to get me. It ain't nothing, I can ignore it. It ain't like ignoring a bill. Honey, they coming for you, especially if they know where you at. Nearly 3 hours after dozens of investigators and police officers were seen entering the gate of the residence in Seoul to execute a warrant for Yoon's detention, the dramatic scene appeared to have developed into a standoff. Oh, gosh. So what are they doing? We're going to have to follow up because ain't no telling what they got going on over here and what they trying to do. Because these people, they laid out, honey. They is laid out over this man being detained. I want to see what somebody else saying. That was from AP News about President Yoon. Okay, the New York Times. Let's see what the New York Times said. This is live. Officials in South Korea entered the compound of President Yoon to try to take him in for questioning over in-surrender charges on Friday. The latest move to make him accountable for his short-lived declaration of martial law last month that plunged the country into a political crisis. Mr. Yoon has ignored repeated summons from the investigators to appear for questioning, saying it was within his powers as president to place his country under military rule for the first time in 45 years. So it ain't nothing going on for him to do that. Well, I wonder what made him do that. I don't know, y'all. These people, it's something. I reported yesterday when I went on live. It was like, no, this morning. It was so much going on. I couldn't even keep up with all the stuff that was going on this morning. We had a cyber attack. We had a ISIS person. We just had a lot going on this morning. When I was reading this stuff last night, but when I got home from work, I couldn't because I had to work, so I couldn't go live. But as soon as I got home this morning, I did a live, y'all, and it was like 4 or 5 things I talked about. It was a lot going on this morning. Even out here in LA, it was a lot going on. Okay, let me see. Mr. Yoon has ignored, okay, we already got said that, said it was in his power. Thousands of his supporters have camped near his residence in recent days, vowing to block officials from detaining him. Large numbers of police officers were deployed around the neighborhood to maintain order. As the motorcade carrying the officials with the detention warrant approached Mr. Yoon's residence. Notice they ain't calling him President Yoon no more. They calling him Mr. Yoon because they done impeached him and he ain't the president no more. See, he thought when he was the president, he was protected. And he was, but now you ain't the president and you ain't protected. You a Mr. instead of a president. So, Mr. Yoon's resident Friday morning, supporters who came out to camp out overnight on a nearby pavement erupted in anger. They waved flags and chanted, "Today is the day we will prevail. Let's protect Yoon." These people. Look at this, y'all. These people is out here. You know what? No matter how corrupt, even in California, right now, Government Newsom, we call them Newsom Gruesome and that Karen Bass. No matter how bad they run a city, child, people still put them in office. I am more within my power. In my power as a American citizen to tell you these fools will vote for Kamala Harris to be the governor of California. They don't read policies. It's just oblivion to just keep going the same way. But people still go the same way. I don't understand why they don't want change. I don't understand, y'all. I don't understand. I don't understand how y'all out here. Like, why y'all out here? But the police held them off with barricades, preventing the protesters from trying to stop the officials from reaching Mr. Yoon's residence in a hilly neighborhood in Central Seoul. The officials were allowed to move past the white steel gate into the compound of Mr. Yoon's residence shortly after 8 a.m., but there was no word of him being detained as of 9:20 a.m. A brief scuffle broke out beyond the gate between police officers and what appeared to be officials stationed inside the footage from MBC TV. The corruption investigation office, that's the CIO for high-ranking officials, an independent government agency specializing in crimes involving senior leaders, succeeded on Tuesday in getting a court warrant to detain him. The officials must apply for a separate court warrant if they want to formally arrest and continue to hold him. Mr. Yoon has vowed My light timed out. I don't know why I do that. Well, I do have it plugged up too. I do have it plugged up too, and I don't like it directly on me, but Mr. Yoon vowed to contest the charges, and his lawyer, Yoon Cabin, Cab Kuhn, Kyun, I don't know, Cab Kyun, this week filed an injunction to challenge the validity of the detention warrant. South Korea's policy crisis has shown no signs of abating since the short-lived period of martial rule and Mr. Yoon's subsequent impeachment by the National Assembly. And the country is now dealing with the aftermath of the deadliest plane crash. Remember that plane crash I talked about when I was at the airport on South Korean soil? A Jeju air passenger jet that spent off the runway. I talked about that a couple of days ago. If you guys want to go back and look at that live, I am going to do a follow-up on that one too. That spin off the runway December 29th, killing 179 of 181 people on board. The opposition has accused Mr. Yoon of committing insurrection when he sent armed troops into the National Assembly shortly after declaring martial law on December 3rd. Investigators say, citing military generals they question, that the president has ordered them to send the troops into the assembly to block lawmakers from voting to overturn his decision. He was also accused of ordering the military and police to detain his political enemies, including the main opposition leader and the Speaker of the South Korean Parliament. Mr. Yoon has said that he had no intentions of committing insurrection. He said he declared martial law as a warning against the opposition, which he said had abused into majority power to block his budget plans and impeach senior officials, paralyzing his government. The Corruption Investigation Office, the CIO, is leading the investigation on Mr. Yoon when police officers and military investigations plan supporting roles. Once Mr. Yoon is detained, the office will question him, but it will eventually hand the case over to prosecutors who decided whether to indict him formally. The execution of an illegal and invalid warrant is clearly unlawful, lawyers for Mr. Yoon said in a statement. Currently, objections of the warrant are under review by the Constitutional Court and the jurisdiction, it said. Baby, they having a standoff. So, look, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do a little research on President Yoon, because I'm trying to figure out what made him do that. Like, what, I understand, I heard what they said, but I want to get a little information about him right quick. And we can also do a follow-up too. Okay. He's 64 years old. He's been the presidential term May 10th, 2022. The office president, the office of 2022. Okay. Let me see. Wikipedia. Okay, this is his profile right here on, I'm going on a Korean website. The Office of the President, Republic of Korea. Yoon, President of the Republic of Korea. Just a little background about him. Having devoted himself to President Yoon was inaugurated in May 2022. He had worked as a prosecutor for 26 years. Let me see. Of course, a prosecutor who combated corruption. That's what I want to read. President Yoon, he studied the career. Okay, he began his career with his creed, no allegiance to a person but the Constitution. He was a prosecutor only, guided by law. Okay, we got all of that. I want to see. what? He was a salesperson, they say, combative government to solve problems, a global first mover. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do a follow-up about him because I don't really know. You know, the laws are over there are different. And honey, I be telling people all the time, when you visit these places and you go to different places, make sure you know these laws, because baby, they ain't the same. They not like us over here in America. They got different stuff going on over in these communists and like, you know, Cuba and places like that. Some of these communist countries, they got different rules. So we're gonna do another we're gonna do a update on President Yoon and see what they decide to do with him. And I'm probably gonna do it in a video on stream, because I think the on stream will be better than the live. You guys could always go back and play the live. But yeah, let me see if they got anything. Okay, hold on. This is an hour ago, because I'm reporting to y'all something 3 hours ago. You know, stuff changed all the time. So the Guardian is saying investigators trying to arrest South Korean President Yoon reportedly blocked by military units. The latest update from the Guardian. So I'm gonna have all these receipts in the description box. 2 South Korean military officials indicted. 2 South Korean military officials, including Army Chief Pak, who was named martial art commander during a short-lived declaration last month, has been indicted after being detained by prosecutors who are investigating. I keep seeing this word, but I don't know what it means. Insurrection charges. Let me see what insurrection means. Let me see what that means, because I don't know what that word means. What does Okay, so insurrection means, as a noun, a violent uprising against an authority or a government. Insurrection was savagely put down. Okay. So pretty much violence, similar to uprising, rebel, revolt, things like that nature. But this was just an hour ago. And they trying to get him, baby. They look like they got him. South Korea, they look like they got him on this picture from the Guardian. Because, you know, these people, they be on it. Yep. So we're going to do another update on President Yoon and seeing, because they said they had to file some more paperwork on him to make sure he gets indicted. And we're going to see if they really, people trying to block him. And, you know, he got his protesters out there, and he also got the military, and there's a lot going on over there, y'all. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys, make sure you watch the other live streams that I've done this morning. Oh my God, it was so much to report. It was just a lot going on this morning. All those videos I have to do follow-ups with. Give me some time. I'm going to get them done, and I'm going to shoot them out into the universe. Until then, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 p.m. Make sure you get subscribed if you have not. Give me a like for the algorithm if you have not. And you can always watch any of my live streams or any of my videos. Share them if you get some use about them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.